As people with disabilities age, they too have a need to lead as independent a life as possible. They, as well as their families, also have the hope that they will lead a life that is productive and integrated into the community. In 1999, two women with disabilities, Lois Curtis and Elaine Wilson, won a lawsuit they had filed against a state-run hospital. In essence, the Olmstead decision stated that segregation of people with disabilities constituted discrimination and that it was a violation of Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act. This segregation occurred when adults with disabilities would often be placed in institutions and large care facilities in order to receive needed care. It's because of this landmark decision that individuals with disabilities can expect to receive needed services in the most integrated setting appropriate. This, more often than not, means that adults with disabilities will be living as a part of their communities in various forms. One of the ways this is being accomplished is by having supported living arrangements. The degree of support needed by each person to thrive varies. Each person is unique. Therefore, the supports and the extent of the supports needed by each person are unique as well. One organization that has a goal of more independent, community-integrated individuals with disabilities is the Independent Living Center.
My name is Deborah Marin. I'm the director of the Utah Independent Living Center, and it's a center that's here in Salt Lake City. The Utah Independent Living Center is an agency that assists people with disabilities gain skills they need to be more independent in their homes, families, and communities. And we provide a variety of services, as well as we are unique in that we serve people of all ages with all types of disabilities. So we see ourselves as a community resource because obviously we can't do everything for everyone, but we hope that no one who ever calls goes away without being given the right information of an agency they need. So one of the really important things we do is information and referral, and that helps, as I mentioned, connect people to resources. Then in addition to that, we have our life skills or independent living skills training classes, where we teach people skills they need for everyday living, like cooking in your own apartment, or shopping, or writing UTA, or learning how to manage your own money. Or it may be that some people we see just don't always have the opportunity to socialize or to gain some interpersonal skills. So we have a lot of activities where we work on those kind of skills. So when people are out and about, they can interact just like everyone else does. We are a non-residential facility. Sometimes that's confusing because of the name. But basically, people just need to either call or come in, and then we'll set up an appointment with one of the staff who work here. And the criteria to be involved with independent living is that you have a disability and that disability somehow is impairing at least one life functioning. So on the whole, most people who come through our doors, we provide some services to. There are 6 located strategically throughout the state, and there is one in Logan that's called Options for Independence. There's one in Ogden that is called Roads to Independence. There was the center in Salt Lake that is called the Utah Independent Living Center, because we were the first one in the state, so we get the Utah Independent Living Center. There's one in Provo that is called Ability First, one in Price, Active Reentry, and the final center is in St. George, which is the Red Rock Center for Independent Living.
Hi, my name is Gustavo Madriz. I have autism and anxiety disorder. My experience with the Independent Living Center is really good because they teach you how to ride the bus, how to budget your money, and how to make really good friends there. Well, the first thing they do is they ask Michael to come to your house, my house, to pick you up, and we'll go walk into the bus stop, and then he tells you to show the bus pass to the bus driver. And then we sit on the bus, and the bus keeps going. He tells you when to pull the cord, to ask for the stop. And then after that, we wait for the other bus. And he tells you you have to get into another bus. I have been going to different places now. One of them is the the Independent Living Center. With Michael's teaching, I remember how to get there.
Then also advocacy, because we tend to think that it's really important that people learn to speak up for themselves and to advocate for themselves, because as I mentioned, the person with the disability, they know what they want to do. They know best what their needs are. So sometimes we work on learning what's the difference between being assertive and aggressive, or how to communicate effectively, or how to get your need across, in the least number of words in a way that's really effective. So we see advocacy being central. We try to do advocacy not only individually with people, to go with them if they're uncomfortable the first time, helping them maybe go to the housing authority or go look in a department that might work for them, but also maybe working with people to understand that it's important that your programs be accessible and the sidewalks be accessible so you can go around your neighborhood. So I think empowering adults with disabilities is a critical thing, because people are very intelligent and people know what they want out of life, and somehow it's just figuring out how to get there. And I think advocacy is one of the ways. Plus, I think it's important for the rest of the community to see people with disabilities, adults with disabilities, out interacting just like anyone else. One of the ways that I think it's important for people with disabilities to get together and rally and be seen and kind of become one voice or one part of the community would be to contact their local independent living centers. There's not a single center in the state that doesn't have some kind of advocacy program. That works primarily with adults, because our advocacy programs primarily do work with adults. But there are other programs out there. There's the Legislative Coalition for People with Disabilities. There's the Grassroots Advocacy program called GAP. There are others. Some of those are coordinated with some individuals who work at the Utah Statewide Independent Living Council, and if you were to contact them, they could direct you to the right program.
I'm Julie Beckstead. I work here at the Utah Independent Living Center. My title is Program Director, meaning that I supervise the staff, or most of the staff that actually teach the classes here. So, I help decide which classes and which services and groups and such that are taught here with the staff. I'm also a person with a disability, so I'm also a peer. So I'll do one-on-one with individuals with disabilities, skills training, how to cook from a wheelchair, or maybe how to ride the bus, or whatever they feel they would benefit from. Here at the Utah Independent Living Center, we don't provide housing for people. Sometimes because of our name, people think that we're residential here. But if somebody comes in needing housing, we, on our website, we have a list of affordable, accessible housing that's available. We could help them fill out applications for Housing Authority and their programs such as Section 8 and Mod Rehab and any of the tax credit programs that's available for people. We would go with them to any meetings or interviews that they need to. We might drive around and look for a place, or go with them into an apartment to see, if it would work with their needs. All those kinds of, whatever they need, we will try to provide services for or support. Some of the things I've seen, sometimes if people needs a roommate because expense is too high, maybe we know of somebody else that is looking for a roommate, we could pair people up. We would refer to like Division of Services for People with Disabilities if they're looking for more like a supervised living, maybe project, or Turn Community, or Chrysalis, or United Cerebral Palsy, or any of those places that provides residential programs that somebody would benefit from. If somebody's looking for services where they might need some supervised living, maybe a group home or some residential program, we would refer to the Division of Services for People with Disabilities. We would also refer to maybe if someone is chronically homeless, we might get them involved with maybe Valley Mental Health and some of their homeless programs that they have. Maybe the Veterans Administration Hospital has programs if somebody's eligible for that. United Cerebral Palsy has residential programs. So, we would research the community and see what's available for folks.
With the technological advances we have experienced as a whole, technology is quickly becoming a tool that can be adapted for meeting the needs of adults with disabilities and increasing their opportunities for independent living. For example, adults with severe physical disabilities may reduce their need for certain types of assistance because of technology that allows them to control devices such as telephones, light switches, and even the door entry, among various other things.
Equipment or assistive technology can really make a difference in someone's independence. Maybe they, what would I be without my wheelchair? Maybe somebody just needs a wheelchair. Or maybe somebody needs a power chair so they can get out in the community and go to the store or get on a bus. Maybe somebody just needs a shower bench or a shower chair that then would make them independent in their homes. So I think assistive technology is very important. And we have a loan bank here where people can come and borrow equipment. Maybe they want to just try something out to see if it would work before they go out and purchase an expensive piece of equipment. Maybe somebody just needs it temporarily. Maybe their shower bench has broken and they just need to borrow one until they can get it repaired or replaced. We have everything from ramps to power wheelchairs, and maybe somebody needs a ramp into their home, or maybe their vehicle modified so that they could travel in a car. So assistive technology makes a huge difference in somebody's independence. We can also, if somebody needs something permanently, we can help them get into resources that could help them purchase equipment. With assistive technology, sometimes it's just little things like, environmental controls where somebody can turn the lights on and off, turn the TV radios on and off, either voice control or, buttons or something to make it accessible. Special eating utensils can make a huge difference for somebody. People who are hard of hearing, maybe they just need an alarm clock or flashing lights that could help them, know when somebody's at the door or wake up in the morning, or specialized phones so that they can communicate with people. It used to be TDDs, but now it's cell phones and video phones and those sorts of things that can really help people be more connected in the community.
Some families opt to have the adult live at home with relatives or maybe even friends. Some of these families receive external support to achieve this. This may mean that a person will come into the home during set times in the day to assist the adult. Other families have been creating apartments within their homes to allow the adult to feel a greater sense of privacy and independence, yet still living at home allows the family to provide immediate service if needed. Options are being explored for monitoring a person through sensors, alerts, and cameras. Electronic alerts for out-of-the-ordinary activities are sent and received. Different levels of support are quickly becoming available for allowing the caretaker time to act when an event does happen. Once we begin to look outside the family home, other methods of independent living have increasingly become more common. One of these is group homes. Group homes are available for people with disabilities that are also in need of continual care and assistance. Group homes make it possible for them to live in typical neighborhoods and, on average, are homes that house no more than 6 individuals. Just like college students living in shared quarters, these adults may share a living room, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, and laundry room, etc. The adults are often encouraged to take part in household chores and budget maintenance. Parents, though, have distinct ideas and feelings about placing their son or daughter into a group home. Here is what 2 parents had to say about their experience.
My name is Elaine Pearson. I'm so happy to be here and talk a little bit about transitions. We have a daughter with Down syndrome. Heidi was happy, healthy Downs, and then complications happened, and she also became diagnosed autistic. So we have quite a bit of experience in that as well. When Heidi was 19, both my husband and my health broke. And we had to make that gut-wrenching decision to put her into a group home, a nice group home, but professional care was not something that I had in my mindset. I thought she would stay with us forever, and I really didn't even talk it over with my husband because he thought that she would do the group home thing. And so it was funny that we later found out just by lack of communication, our long-term goals were not on the same page. At 19, I still saw Heidi as almost a 4 or 5-year-old, and so it was heart-wrenching for me as her mother to say, she's leaving home and going to a new school and in a new home, and I won't be there to tuck her in and make sure she takes her vitamins and all that. And my daughter, Heidi's sister, said, Mom, look at this transition as a blessing, first of all, and then look at it as Heidi's college experience. She's got roommates, she's got a new school, she can come home on the weekends. She is having these great experiences that her sisters had at college. And that helped me tremendously to say, okay, this is Heidi's college experience. It's not that we're sending her away, it's not that we're failures, it's just the next step. That was tremendous to let go and know that she was in a good center. It's not that we didn't just put her in the first thing, but we did our homework, and this communication, this talking about it helped very much as a parent.
My name's Art Leonard, and I'm Bob's dad, and we've lived here for over 25 years and had Bob in the group home over 25 years now. We were really skeptical about putting Bob in a group home. We knew we needed help, and we didn't know what kind of help we could get or what would work. And the group home has always worked for us because the people at the group home have always been changing on a regular basis to meet Bob's needs, and his progress is assessed on a regular basis, and we upgrade or we make changes accordingly. And that, for the most part, is what works for Bob, is keeping up with whatever new interest he may have, but maintaining his grasp on all the old ones that he can't let go of. I know that group homes aren't for everyone, but it's been a lifesaver for us. I think any time you're looking, whether it's a car dealership or a hospital or anything else, you have the best three. You have the good, the bad, and the indifferent, and we happen to believe that the group home that we're involved with is one of the best three in Salt Lake, or in the state, and do a lot of research as far as what the group home you're placing your child in offers. And if they sound like a warehouse, they probably are. And so working with qualified staff members, you'll find out whether it's a proper place or not just by dealing with the staff members. And you'll learn pretty quick whether it's the right place or not.
For Art's family, they were able to find a place they've been happy with for decades. Here is some additional information about the type of group home from which the Leonard family receives services.
I'm Ali Al-Maliki. I work at CTA as a program coordinator, which means I coordinate 4 programs in terms of medical needs. And medical needs consist of physical medical needs and psychiatric medical needs. Group home is actually what is called, in another term, is a teaching center where the boys learn social skills, how to interact and communicate their needs and wants with the staff or outside with the community members. And also the other goal for a group home to minimize or eradicate any unwanted behaviors. So actually 50% is behavioral support and 50% is skill teaching. Some of the clients go to a day program, which is within the same agency as ours. We call it ADAP. And they participate in activities inside the facility, like art or playrooms or community-based activities. They go to, out to parks, to canyons. It depends on the weather and the inclination of the client's interest as well. As far as age, we can receive kids as old as 12 and up. And the boys at this specific group home been with us since they were 13 or 14. And now they're, 37, 38.
Another way for adults with disabilities to live as part of the community involves living on their own in houses or apartments with different levels of supervision. It may be the case that an adult may only need to have a provider check in once daily, once weekly, or perhaps even once monthly. There are those that can handle living independently with just the added support of having someone available to call or ask for help and advice on pressing issues every once in a while. Additionally, there are various organizations that are available for implementing chore and meal services, as well as making modifications to the environment if the disability requires it. It is now more possible than ever to lead as independent a life as possible when you are an adult with a disability. If you have questions or concerns regarding the ability of an adult with disability in your life to enjoy independent living, please contact your nearest independent living center. They'll be there to help guide you in learning about some options available to you. Life is not all about work. When we think about the things we want to accomplish in a day, we often think about leisure and recreation. We may have hobbies that we like to engage in and a variety of special interests. They may include sports, outdoor activities, the arts, or any combination of these. We're not particularly obligated to choose one over another. If we enjoy a wide range of activities, we can take advantage of many of the programs available for people with disabilities in the state. One such organization is Special Olympics.
Hi, Amy Hansen with Special Olympics Utah. I am the President and Chief Executive Officer for our organization, which encompasses the entire state of Utah. Special Olympics offers sports and competition for athletes across the state. We also provide training opportunities. Our programs are carried out through 500 volunteer coaches and about 3,000 volunteers each year to make sure that we are able to offer opportunities statewide for adults with intellectual disabilities. We're able to provide wheelchair races. We also have coach assist programs and then a motor activities therapy program, which is for people who are most severely intellectually and physically disabled. Participation in Special Olympics is free. We provide our competition, training, our competitive events, uniforms, as well as equipment free to our athletes. Currently, Special Olympics Utah primarily serves adult athletes. We do have great programs during the transitional years that are mainly sponsored by universities. So anyone who is interested in participating, we can certainly find them a community-based team or a university-sponsored team to host adult athletes. We also have a new program with the Utah High School Activities Association that involves athletes at the high school level. Our athletes have been shown to have greater self-esteem, social interaction skills, team building, and all of the other fabulous life skills that anyone learns from participating in sports.
As you can see, Special Olympics has much to offer, and families and friends are always invited to become part of the fun.
We have a place for everyone within Special Olympics Utah. If someone would like to donate, we have a variety of vehicles, activities, and events for them if they would like to volunteer. We have everything from year-long coach programs to one-time volunteering, and we definitely have a place for everyone to come out and support our athletes at all of our events and activities. So we invite the community to join us in raising money, volunteering, and just supporting our athletes and letting them know that their skills are valued and they can be cheered on by family and friends.
For outdoor enthusiasts, Splore offers river rafting, rock climbing, canoeing, snowshoeing, Nordic skiing, dog sledding, and more. Parents and friends are also encouraged to attend and participate in the activities. Another notable place that offers a plethora of programs and activities is the National Ability Center. In addition to sports, outdoor activities, equestrian programs, and hippotherapy, they also run educational programs and trainings. With their mission of inclusion for people of all ability levels, they also encourage families and friends to join in the activities together. Various other organizations, such as Courage Reigns and the Stable Place, provide hippotherapy to individuals with disabilities. Some scholars have argued that nature has therapeutic value in and of itself, and that we are in better touch with ourselves when we are surrounded by nature. Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts. There is something infinitely healing in the repeated refrains of nature, the assurance that the dawn comes after night and spring after winter. Rachel Carson, Silent Spring. Just as we can exercise our bodies through sports and outdoor recreational activities, we can also spend our leisure time doing indoor activities. A visit to an art gallery to enjoy the creative expressions of others is one of the possibilities with Art Access. Along with exposing people with disabilities to art, they also offer a myriad of programs to be enjoyed for people throughout the life course. From their Kindred Spirits program, for those of chronological and/or cognitive ages of 5 to 13, to their Partners Artist Mentoring program, Art Access offers something for everyone.
My name is Cheryl Gilliland. I'm the Executive Director of Art Access, and I have worked here for 10 years, but I've been the Executive Director for almost 3 years now. Art Access is an organization that tries to bring arts opportunities to people who wouldn't ordinarily get the chance. For instance, we want to hear from people who have disabilities or who are elderly or refugees or homeless or the LGBT community, for the simple reason that we think art is storytelling. It's like one of the oldest forms of storytelling. And we want to hear everyone's stories in our community because that's what makes a stronger community, is to hear from everyone. We offer several different programs. We do specifically have a program for adults with disabilities. It's a residential program, which means that we contract with an artist and send him or her out to a facility to do a program, a professional teacher. Our gallery is inclusive. So we show art at our gallery for people with and without disabilities, and that application process takes part in July 1st. We also have a program called the Partners Program, which is where we pair an adult artist with a disability with a professional artist, and they work together one-on-one for a minimum of 25 hours. And at the end of that, there's an exhibit that features all the work of all the partners and the apprentices. And our adult workshop program that I didn't mention before, that is inclusive, so anybody can take that. Doesn't matter what your skill level is for that. Anybody can sign up for that and take those workshops. And if they are in facilities already, then our program would go to the facility, not the specific person. I think the benefits are numerous to everyone who participates. Because, for instance, we had a very funny occasion happen where we had an adult workshop and they were filling out the evaluation forms, and a person without a disability said at the end, "This was really great, but I was really sorry to be in a group with no people with disabilities." Well, there were several people in there with disabilities, but they were unseen disabilities. So that's also what we're trying to address, is you don't know if somebody has a disability or not just by looking at them or talking with them. Maybe you'll know, but maybe you won't know. For us, the goal is to get everybody in here, everybody working on collaborative art projects and making friends along the way, or hearing tidbits that people say, "Oh, I never thought of it like that," or "never," for everybody. I'd like everybody to walk out with that kind of experience.
Creative outlets are beneficial to everyone, and another wonderful form of expression to consider is dancing. The Dancers with Disabilities Dance Program at the Virginia Tanner Dance Program at the University of Utah offers half-day camps for children and adults. The camps explore more than just dance and guide the students through music, theater, visual arts, and film. The program has currently expanded to include dance classes for adults with disabilities and is seeking to expand their class choices in the future.
I'm Joni Wilson from Tanner Dance here at the University of Utah, and it is my honor and pleasure to be one of the faculty here that teaches in our Dancers with Disabilities program. The Disabilities program was started originally with Virginia Tanner, and it's been carried on by Marianne Lee. And I have the honor of teaching those classes on a weekly basis, but we're looking forward to also beginning in this beautiful new facility, starting an adult with disabilities program, a daytime program for persons with various challenges, and it's going to be quite exciting to have that happen. We have a weekly class that happens on site in an Alzheimer's unit for adults with disabilities. And then I teach a class at the Work Activity Center on a weekly basis as well for those adults with severe disabilities. The classes go year-round, so there are 2 sessions in an academic year that run from August through mid-May. We also have in the summer, it's quite exciting, this will be our 3rd summer that we're hosting a week-long day camp for dancers with disabilities. So they come and they experience art and music and dance all together during the period of their camp time. And we'll, like I've mentioned prior, we'll be offering that coming up this fall at some point for our adult camp as well. We are fortunate at this time to have some grant support to help underwrite the costs of tuition for these families because of the great other costs, the outside costs that they have to incur. So we're able to make it very affordable. Right now the cost is $35 a session, and that's for 16 weeks. And there's 2 sessions in a year, so it's really affordable. And then we also offer scholarships are also available. I think the most important and impressive work that happens for people and persons and children with challenges and disabilities is to help them find and experience the beauty that dance and creative exploration can do for them. The joy that I see on a week-to-week basis transforms my life, and it makes a difference for them and a difference for me. So together, we make a difference.
There are many venues for expressing ourselves and for having an enjoyable time either on our own or with our loved ones. Recreational outlets enrich all our lives, as well as bring an additional sense of pride and self-worth. Respite care is temporary relief. It's designed for families of children and adults with special needs. People with special needs have just that, special needs, and these are always in addition to the other responsibilities and obligations families must fulfill to each other. For example, parents of a child with special needs more than likely also have other children that require just as much love and attention. Even if there are no other children in the home, spouses and partners usually sacrifice their time together in order to keep up with their child or adult with special needs in the home. Having respite care allows these families a breather. Oftentimes, however, it allows these families to keep up with their already established obligations and responsibilities. It's not unheard of to use respite care as a way to continue or catch up with daily tasks and responsibilities. Each individual family has knowledge of what they need the most. It may be the case that families really need an outing to an entertainment venue. It may be the case that families really need to enjoy some time outdoors and recenter. It may also be the case that parents and partners need time alone to be able to reconnect with each other. It may even be the case that caregivers need time to help another of their children with homework. The sky is the limit when thinking of options of how to spend the extra time provided by respite care.
I'm Terry Statler. I have a son, Zachary, who is 33. Zachary has tuberous sclerosis, and with that he is severely disabled. He is about at a 6-month-old level, and so we take care of all of his needs. As far as respite with Zachary, I have found that as he is getting heavier, he's now 33 and he's over 100 pounds, and as he's getting heavier, it's really hard to find the respite care workers. I always like to have Zachary go to someone else's home because I like to be able to go home and have some downtime by myself, and I've done that all of the time I've used respite. But a lot of people can't take him now because they can't do that lifting to get him, out of his chair or on the floor when he needs to lay down or on a bed or whatever. And so I'm finding that as he's getting older, my respite care options are narrowing. I'm getting to where I have a lift in my home, and so I'm finding that I need to have people come to the home a little bit more. And as a result, I'm finding I'm using it less because a lot of things I like to do was at my home by myself. And so that has really changed.
Caregivers of children and adults with special needs oftentimes have elevated levels of stress, which may result from having to balance everyone's needs. Respite care is designed to help families reduce their stress level and recharge their batteries to continue on with their caregiving. There is no set rule to respite care. Families may use it as often as they need to or be occasional users of this service. Each family has needs that are specific to each member, and respite care is usually tailored to individual needs. Families of the individuals with special needs, both children and adults, quickly find that they have a necessity for creating a circle of support. Think about the people on which you generally rely. They may include extended family members, grandparents, aunts and uncles, older siblings of the individual with a disability, the caregiver's close friends, friends who are also caregivers of individuals with special needs, and sometimes even peers of the individual with special needs. The larger the circle of support that you create, the more support you can expect to receive. Sometimes parents have gotten very creative about how members from their circle of support provide respite care.
Hi, my name is Rosa Madriz, and I am a parent with a child with disabilities. We were living in the state of Georgia, and we tried sending him by plane to Utah to visit his sisters. And we did that. We sent him, it was twice we did that. The first time it was a direct flight, so he didn't have to, get off the plane and go and catch another one and this and that. And that, it was really successful. The second time, he did have to make a connection with another flight. And with that, we had a little bit of a problem, but he did it successfully at last. And by doing that, I got to have time, with my husband, and we could have time alone together, which we hadn't had in a very long time.
Besides our natural pool of resources, there are agencies and organizations that thrive on providing respite care for children and individuals with special needs. Our current technology allows us to explore respite care option as well as vet the providers and professionals that we will potentially hire. One such option in Utah is www.hiremycare.org, which was recently established for connecting reliable staff with the families of children and adults who need support. Various organizations are community-based and have their services at a separate location. Other organizations with on-site respite care work directly through the Division of Services for people with disabilities. Though the respite care may be provided by a member of our circle of support, privately funded or received as a service through DSPD, there is no denying that families of individuals with special needs require this service at least every once in a while. It is nothing but a well-deserved break that may have you springing back into action in no time. For more information on any of the topics discussed or to find resources in your area, please contact the Utah Parent Center at 801-272-1051, or our toll-free number is 1-800-468-1160, or visit our website at www.utahparentcenter.org.